The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome as always to the show. If you're new, welcome. Dan here along with Michael and Moscow White for the weekly show. We'll catch up with Brentford and stuff in a bit, yeah? First of all, we need to say it's brought to you by Levi's Solicitors, this show, who do you a 10% discount on your legal fees. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Michael will smoothly and systematically reel off the three things that are on offer in January now. Michael?
Wills, probate, conveyancing.
Yep. Which is your favourite of those three? Say Wills.
Wills.
Do you know why they're good?
Because you can do online appointments.
Yeah, you can do it. That's not the main point, is that you can do video appointments with the online booking system.
That's what I meant. It's all online, isn't it? How else are you doing the video? Via satellite link? It's all on the internet.
Sorry, Levi's. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. We've got a sale on. Quick plug for these as well. Flying out like hotcakes now. We took the piss out of the fact we couldn't sell it. Oh, look at that. Moscow's drinking out of a mug on the video version on YouTube, like they do in the films, when there's nothing in the vessel. Can you do the same with yours? Is that a Luke Ayling mug there, Michael?
He's good as well, isn't he?
Yeah, his legs wide open there for the ball to go through. No, that's him scoring his volley against Huddersfield in fun times.
In the before times.
Before times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a few of those. Street Fighter things we did too. They're on sale.
And the cheap.
£5.
Not cheap
for a mug.
Not cheaply made, just discounted in price.
Exactly. It's still the same premium product, just a new low exciting price.
The jokes about the Pat Bamford mugs being broken, etc., can be made, but
yeah, and
do your own jokes.
Look at him go.
Exactly.
He's on a hot streak. Well, let's get onto all that then, shall we, and talk about the football. But if you're on the mugs, thesquareball.net, just find the merch section. There's a sale bit in there, loads of stuff on sale. Have a poke around. Part one of the show is news. Should we do news?
Should we talk about our record signing?
Yeah, let's do that. Rodrigo, yeah, he's doing really well, isn't he? Hey. Ruter. Well, we're recording this sort of Friday late morning, and we've got the Phil Hayes show coming up in a bit, which is going to be after the press conference, I think, or an interview where they're having a chat with Georginio Ruter from Moscow. Where did he come from prior to...
from Hoffenheim.
Prior to Hoffenheim, he came from...
He came from Rouen.
Rouen, correct.
And before that, he was at Vaughan.
Yes, he's very happy to be here.
He did genuinely look happy to be here as well. I know
struck me as a lovely lad.
Players always say that, but he did genuinely look thrilled.
The intro to the crowd on Wednesday night was funny, and these things are always funny, because they just sort of walked him out to the centre spot and said,
"There he is.
There's Rutter." Then
in the middle of a football stadium. Now what do I do?
And they just walked away again. I did think for a moment, because they built it up. They said as soon as the game finished, they did what they should have done for Klich when he left against
lessons learned.
West Ham. Lessons learned, yeah. Was like, everybody stay in your seats at half time because we're going to be bringing out our new signing. And typically, I think most people are like, sod that, I'll have to start. But I did think, having built it up and then walking him out into the middle of the field like a pony at a show, that they were going to make him do some kick-ups or something. But no, he just turned around and walked back again.
Waved.
When he got to near the tunnel, he seemed to almost have second thoughts. He was like, should I stay for a bit longer? He was like,
is it too soon to do a lap of honour?
Yeah.
Was it Martin Brathwaite who, when he signed for Barcelona, tried to do the signing things with the kick-ups and he couldn't do them?
Yeah, I think so. There's always
just looked absolutely lost.
It's good. But yeah, there he was. So he's definitely here.
Yeah, looked well. Looked healthy, didn't he?
The most two-footed player Jesse Marsch has ever seen. And they've got loads in common, because he was saying that they had a chat about football, and he said that Rutter already seemed to know all of Jesse Marsch's tactical ideas. So
they were written on the back of a postage stamp for him.
20-year-old kid's got it all worked out. Maybe Rutter could be our next manager.
It's possible. He does like to lean on a teenager for tactical advice, doesn't he?
When Tyler Adams was ordering about when he was 15, we've got to start attacking down the left. Oh yeah, the kid's right. So that's
hey, the kid's right, man.
And he's grown up a little bit now, so it's like, yeah, we can have Tyler Adams as manager. Rutter there is a coaching vacancy because we've still not filled the Jacko gap.
Couple more days.
We'll have an announcement. But yeah, very exciting. Going to be great. He's going to be playing for us for the next 15 years. Attacking, scoring loads of goals with both feet, just dribbling loads. He says he loves to dribble. He loves anime. It's the other thing about him. So good.
Is that true?
Yes.
Good.
I can't remember the name of it because I don't know much about anime, but he mentioned a couple of shows in an interview at the start of the year. He was like, what are his other interests? And he listed anime amongst them. Well, the shows in particular that he watches.
I look forward to an athletic long read on that then.
Well, it would be interesting. I mean, it's always nice when somebody's got a little bit more than just like, because that was the one, it made me laugh on LUTV did a day in the life of Jackie Harrison where they followed him around. And on the way back, after training, he's driving home. Like, so what do you like to do in your downtime when you're not being a footballer? And it's, oh, well, you know, me and my girlfriend, we just like to watch movies, watch a bit of TV. We've been watching that documentary lately about Jeffrey Dahmer. I was thinking, would you not, if you were making that day, just like, okay, that's the true answer, but kids are going to be watching. Let's just say you like watching Finding Nemo or something. We'll just do that over again. It's like, oh yeah, all the serial killer stuff. That's what we really like.
And is that the same day in the life of where they were filming him in the dressing room and there was Rasmus there, bollock naked,
Yeah.
and they had to do a second take of it?
So again, it's like they maybe need to be putting an R rating on these day in the life videos. Maybe that's fine. Once you've got a nude Rasmus, I guess it's like, yeah, all the serial killer documentaries can be thrown in after.
Did you like seeing Victor in his San Francisco 49ers top, which we have touched on across the last week, but now is a chance for us to share our thoughts and feelings on that. Do you think that was very subtle?
He's always been a man for the delicate, nuanced points, hasn't he, Victor Orta, when he's wearing his 49ers top, shouting at people to fuck off. He's not the most subtle of men, is he? But I guess if they've paid for it, fair enough.
How do you imagine that's gone down with Andrea Radrizzani? As a man noted for having a very thick skin and not all a fragile ego.
Well, what does Ace Adventures hoodie look like? Do they do any? Do they make any? Maybe that's the problem. He wakes up in the morning and thinks, I would love to wear something with Andrea Radrizzani's face on it. I haven't got one, so I'll just have to wear the 49ers hoodie. And so it's really Andrea's own fault.
Improve your merch offering.
Yeah,
He might do now. He might have had one made of him. It'll be a picture of him with a six pack.
Really tall.
6 foot tall with a rippling torso.
Shot from a low angle?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. I'm surprised they didn't have a big bag of money on the table or a giant check from San Francisco.
Dollars.
49ers. Yeah, absolutely. Good fun. Azadine Unahi, that one's gone a bit quiet now. Do you want a central midfielder? I do.
Suppose we should.
I know I'm being a big baby football fan and I want everything now and everything yesterday, but I'd quite like to see us have another midfielder.
Well, we got rid of a perfectly good one in Klich, so let's have another. I mean, this guy's not coming, is he? He don't want to come.
I don't know. Maybe they just wait until later in the window, see what happens with Brentford, whether they need to pony up to get compensation for anybody else, if they need to bring anybody else in for any reason at all after Brentford, which again we'll get onto in part 2 of Brentford. I don't know. It feels like they're probably in for someone, but they're just biding the time in that way that Leeds kind of do. And as Phil has said, don't be surprised if nothing happens, but don't be surprised if something does happen. Don't be surprised at all.
we're kind of used to it, aren't we? To get the players that they want early and then kind of mill around.
Definitely the hallmark of January's previous, that Moscow.
Well, or they don't get them. They go for them, don't they? Because we had the Brendan Aronson chase last January. And it was pretty clear that was the player they wanted, so they either got him or they didn't. This year we wanted Weber and Rutte, and we got them. And then there is that period in the rest of the window where it's just like, see what happens, see who becomes available, see if there's anything out there that we want. Maybe they're a little bit too relaxed about filling up the midfield with people, and a definite target in mind would be nice if it's this guy or somebody else. But yeah, we're into a usual Leeds mode, aren't we? Of like, we've bought some players and now we're going to try and resist everybody's begging for more, because days go by without a signing and everybody forgets about the record signing. And it gets to January the 31st, everybody will be moaning that we've done nothing. And they'll say, what about Rutte? And people say, that was 3 weeks ago, forgotten all about it.
I am fairly pleased with our business, I have to say, so far. There seems like fairly sensible acquisitions and early, which is important.
Weber, injured. Rutte,
yeah.
How many goals has he scored? Record signing, 2 goals, terrible.
Done nothing so far, has he?
Yeah, he's done nothing for us.
Did you not see his wave?
Rubbish.
Smile?
Wasn't impressed. He was in the shadow of Klich anyway that night, wasn't he?
No, yeah, that's true. Klich did the same, didn't he? Just wandered out.
So yeah, I suppose there's not a lot you can do, really, is there? There was a big hoo-ha about
Cry
him.
again.
Yeah, about him not saying goodbye, and then it's kind of, what does an actual goodbye look like in those
Dousing him with
circumstances?
tear gas as he comes out.
It is somebody 100 yards away waving at you. And it's like, we wanted the close moment. Well, that's as good as it gets, isn't it? But, he was looking good. Sharp coat.
But yeah, it seems like we agreed a price ages ago, more or less, on it from reports, and probably can match his personal terms. And he's gone, yeah, I'll see.
Quite fancy the Champions League with Napoli, thanks.
Which is absolutely fair enough.
Which is ungrateful.
It is. Yeah, I mean, that's another opinion on it. But yeah, I mean, you'd probably just fancy winning a medal straight away, wouldn't you? As an option.
Links as well to Diogo Monteiro, who most notably has spectacular eyebrows. Looks like he could be on The Apprentice, actually, I think, with those eyebrows. And that's he's got a sharp coiffured haircut.
Well, he's receiving an award, isn't he, on this picture? I'm not quite sure what it is. It's cut off, but it's some UEFA award anyway. So it looks very smart.
He's not wearing a tie, Michael.
Or I feel like he might be trying to get me to go to his church.
Right. Yes.
The other vibe from this.
Yeah, that's a good one, that, actually, yeah. So he's played for Portugal at youth level, but he's from Switzerland. Knocking about around Servette.
Yeah. Moscow, that's surely a French Swiss.
Servette.
So he turns 18, doesn't he, at some point in the next week or two? So they're going to pounce potentially, yeah.
Yeah, the Charlie Creswell replacement.
Yeah, his YouTube
one of the
presence is different to most people, because there are highlights from a Portugal youth game against Denmark, but then there's also his own channel, which is quite unusual.
Are we signing a YouTuber?
Well,
are we signing a fellow YouTuber?
It's football orientated, to his credit. It has the about page is in several languages and says, I am a boy of 14 years old who lives in Switzerland.
He's too young to sign then.
Who dreams of a career in football. If you like one of my videos, do not hesitate to love and to share with your family and your friends. Thank you. And it's a selection of...
It's got a sort of a Knowing Kenny vibe, that.
Yeah, it's a selection of little videos he's done of himself. They're all like... The longest one is 13 seconds.
It's like him just kicking a ball, isn't it?
Just kicking the ball into a goal. Yeah, it's quite sweet. So he's had his little 8 subscribers he already had.
We can get that up to 10, I think.
Well, I'm not
Don't
following.
forget, did you not like and subscribe?
But
hit that bell.
13 seconds, in fairness, he's barely got time to even address that, has he?
Yeah. No. English, French, German, and Spain are the languages he's put it in. So he's spreading his net quite wide, trying to get the attention of football, and worked.
Yeah, the only real clips of him playing football competitively are from the Portugal-Denmark game. And I have to admit, when I opened that, I did see Portugal. The score is on there. It says Portugal, Dinamarca. And I thought, who was Dinamarca? Then I Googled it and I was like, it's Denmark.
Denmark, yeah.
You fucking idiot.
I mean, I got that very quickly.
I know. I did it as soon as I did it, I thought, obviously. What is wrong? What on earth is wrong with you?
I thought you were talking about a player, Mr. and Mrs. Marker's lad, Dina.
No, sadly not. But, I mean, do we want him?
Yeah, of course we do want everyone, don't we?
What's happening to Charlie Creswell?
Well, it seems potentially out on loan, doesn't it? But there's talk, and it's Phil, I think, who's responsible for spreading
trying to sell him.
Yeah, spreading this rumour with his poison pen, suggesting that he might go out permanently. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, whether they're sort of reassessing the parameters now for players who are sort of coming in as the backfill from the youth team, if you like.
Well, Max Dean's gone permanently as well, hasn't he? Unfortunately, he's not been able to find a club, so they've had to send him to the pretend one in Milton Keynes, where Mark Jackson is pretending to be in charge of a pretend football club. Because, yes, AFC Wimbledon is the real one. The other one doesn't count. But, which is, I think, with Dean, it kind of makes some sense, because we now have about 60 strikers ahead of him.
One of which cost about 35 million quid, don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, all of a certain age as well. Like Rodrigo's kicking on, I guess. Bamford is
29.
Yeah, so he's still the right side of 30. He's a young man. Fine young man. So you can see, like, even if we did a Chelsea thing of farming him out on loan for years, we'd probably ruin him the way Chelsea ruined Bamford. So let him go. A little bit different at the back, because we don't really have any defenders. I know we've got some defenders, but you could look at Llorente, Cooper, Koch, Strauch, Verber, and think there's room in there for one more. But I guess it's what Creswell wants as well. Like, is he looking at Koch and Verber and Strauch having their contracts and thinking, well, the best I'm going to be there is I've got to try and fight my way through them, or just go and play somewhere permanently, get loads of games and come up that way.
And if he's spoken to Jamie Shackleton on his loan, he's kind of a warning from the future, isn't he? Of this is maybe what can happen if you just stay at a club too long and they don't ever really play you, and then you go out on loan and you struggle to get games, and then before you know it, you're like 23 or whatever Jamie Shackleton is now, and you've not really kicked the ball very much in the last few years.
Tumbling down the pyramid like an Egyptian builder that slipped.
And the loan as well has maybe been a bit of a reality check, because every time he played for Leeds in our first team, it felt like a super high, cool experience, and everything went really well. This is the first time he's not
the grind.
Yeah, it's not gone brilliantly, and it might have been kind of a reassessment for him, and also for Leeds United, maybe just like what potential he has at the moment, and whether sort of keeping him around is going to be the best way of getting the best out of him. It happens. This is, we have Michael was making a very good point on one of the podcasts that I wasn't on, I was listening to, about how we got to get used to the Premier League way of doing youth players, where we think every player that comes from our youth team is destined to play for us for 10 years, whereas actually a lot of them are destined destined to be sold. And that's how Manchester City make untold millions from just having an academy producing players who, and even it's Jason Wilcox who's in charge of their academy, our old winger.
He's just gone to Southampton now.
I don't know why he would do that. It's ridiculous. But he was saying, the likelihood of us getting a player as good as De Bruyne out of our academy is very slim. We'll probably have to buy that player, but we can produce dozens of players who are good enough for the Championship and the Premier League and sell them and use that money to buy De Bruyne.
And FFP as well. I mean, like, if you look at what Chelsea are doing, which Todd Bowley seems to have completely lost his marbles, and spending 400 million in 1.5 windows or something. They're going to have to do some selling, aren't they, in the upcoming windows? You imagine?
Might not bother.
They might.
Brave it out.
Yeah, and then because they're going to be selling academy products out, probably Conor Gallagher's going to go. You've got Loftus-Cheek as well, who's come through, who might well end up going, and so on and so forth.
Chelsea end up with England internationals who are in their reserve team, because they can produce players who are that good. Loftus-Cheek has played for England. I'm not imagining that.
Quite a few times.
But he can't get into their first team, and they end up on loan to Germany and stuff. And it's all, squad caps haven't really worked, have they? Where you say you can only have 25 players in your Premier League squad, and a certain number have got to be homegrown. Because now Chelsea and Nottingham Forest are just going like, fine, we'll just pay a bunch of players to just not play. Can't be in the squad, can't do anything, but we'll have them, and then other people can't.
There is the homegrown quota as well, which kind of plays into this, doesn't it? You got to have a certain percentage of your players have got to have spent at least 3 years in an academy and all that.
That's why there's a weird lucrative market for aging English goalkeepers, because people are like, well, sub-goalkeeper, whatever. We don't need to waste the squad space on that. As long as we can get someone to kind of do a job as second or third choice, that's fine. We'll save our foreign players for the sexier stuff.
I'd be willing to do that,
Who do you propose we get? Mark Beanie?
No, I'm saying I'd be willing to do it. Like if a Premier League,
goal.
I'd never play. I'd go to training if they asked me to, but I'd never obviously play.
I reckon it's not going to provide a very stiff challenge for the players in training if you're in goal.
Why?
Because of
I played
because of the physical demands of goalkeeping.
I spent a season in goal when I did, like we played just among ourselves, like on a Wednesday afternoon at university, and we won the league. So I've got a league title winners medal. And we conceded the fewest goals in the division.
I suspect,
and I saved the penalty.
Professional footballers kick it really, really hard.
This is like, even from the perspective of being a goalkeeper, listening to Kevin Blackwell reeling off his playing achievements.
Are you putting your hat in the ring to be our new left back, by the way, with your
number 3
your top you're wearing tonight?
It's like I say it's like a Jossie's Giants top. You probably won't remember Jossie's Giants.
No,
really,
I know of it. I don't.
Yeah.
If I can get a transfer from the Comets.
It looks like a Newcastle top, I have to say.
Yeah, I always really liked that Newcastle kit.
And
then I found this.
Why don't you just go and support them then, eh?
Because they got
Is Comet's the team, or is that just a sponsor?
I've never been able to work it out. I think it's just
because Comet was the electrical reseller, wasn't it?
That's sponsored by all the branches of Comet.
Yeah.
That's why it's Comets.
Joffrey, back to Joffrey. He's gone to Wigan on loan.
Is that confirmed?
Let's assume so.
No, I don't think it is officially, but
it's going to do it.
He is doing it.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it.
But by the time this gets published, probably, let's assume he has. But I mean, it does
We'll
make
be back next week with his unveiling video at Preston.
absolute climb down. It does make sense, doesn't it, given that Rutter's arrived and Rutter has arrived and Bamford's now back among the goals.
The most exciting prospect in the Premier League. That's what Angus Kinnear said about him, wasn't it? I think it's the right move for him, though.
Yeah.
Go out and play some games. And he's dead young. I don't think
2 weeks younger than Rutter.
Yeah. I did see someone point out, though, that Ben White was at Newport at 20.
Yeah.
So
it'll be nice for Lynn to have him on for a bit as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a little brother, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Who's probably now about 18. So maybe not that small.
Could beat you up.
Yeah, almost certainly. As could Lynn. But yeah, no, I hope he goes out back and does well.
I
Play some
think
games.
you'd let Lynn beat you up for kicks.
Fair enough. Get in touch.
She's on Twitter, Michael. You could always just drop her a message.
Probably not.
No?
I think that's no, not the done thing.
No, okay.
I think since Matt Grimes' mother was probably the death knell for interactions, really, wasn't it?
I discovered Lewis Bates' mum on Twitter, actually. Weirdly, because she...
Michael
Well,
Normanton, mum stalker.
I tweeted about Lewis Bate, and then in the replies to it, people saying, "Oh, he did really well against Arsenal." You can see who's liked the replies to it, and there was a I can't remember her name now, but there was a someone Bate, and basically all she does is like stuff about Lewis Bate. She never posts anything, but she just obviously like searches for him and likes stuff.
A proud mum.
It was nice. I assume it's his mum. It could be his sister, I suppose, but I'm assuming mum. But yeah, I just came across it. I was like, that's quite nice, really. She's just going through, like, retweeting nice stuff about her son playing well.
Aye, great stuff. Yelder has gone to Rotherham on loan, straight into the team. They won 4-0 against Blackburn. Got good reports, didn't he?
Getting assists, playing left back as well. Interestingly for them, not centre back. So maybe he is one after all.
Yeah, he did a lot of left back stuff before he came to us. It was never. I think just because we don't have any other sort of left back options, Leeds fans tend to get a bit irate about where Hjelde plays, but it was always a thing.
He's big as well, isn't he? I think that's the other thing. He doesn't look like you'd expect a left back to look.
It's the modern game. They're not. Tony DeRigo isn't the archetype anymore. Neither is Ian Hart. The short and pacey.
We know the criteria for signings is now, because Jesse said birth order. Obviously, it's something he looks at.
Yeah.
He said that unprompted as well, didn't he? Which makes you wonder about his judgment slightly. But...
Although he didn't say exactly like what the conclusion was, because it was reported rather than, we don't have the exact quote from his the interview he was doing at this corporate conference, Wilf's coaching conference. But when asked what questions he uses to assess players when meeting them, his first response was that he's a big believer in birth order and gets to know that about a player, but it doesn't say whether he gets to know it. I guess it's...
Is he saying he doesn't want the difficult middle child? Is that what he's saying?
Well, I guess he maybe wants to know that that's what he's dealing with. So it's like, okay, so were you first, second, third, what? And then he's like, okay.
Then he obviously reads the tarot after that.
Yes. He's doing some palmistry.
Do we know if Aronson's got an older brother? He obviously has the younger one, but is he the oldest?
I think he's the oldest,
He's
yeah.
the
And
older
there's
one.
a sister
He's
as
not
well.
the difficult middle one.
Oh, there's a sister in the mix
Yeah,
too.
she plays too.
Ah, do you know how old's she? Just thinking.
If only there was a worldwide system of interconnected computers that could tell
I'm
us
not
this
sure, to be
information.
honest. I think Dan's looking it
Just
up.
wondering what it tells us about him.
Big brother to
Paxton.
Paxo.
Mm.
And then, so where's the sister in the mix, Dan? You must have found it by now.
Let's have a look. Personal life.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
No,
come
it
on.
doesn't say.
Is his girlfriend still playing football as well? 'Cause
She quit.
She quit.
Well, no, that makes it sound like a queer. She had four disastrous knee injuries and surgeries.
Oh no!
And
I laughed at that, and I didn't mean to.
And then eventually, I think this year she decided to pack it in.
Fair enough. She's not in Leeds yet, is she?
I mean,
As far as I'm aware.
I've not looked for a while.
Whenever they're together, they always used to put nice Instagram stories on.
Exactly, it was absolutely sickening. That's why I just give up on seeing what they were up to. It's like, I think I noticed it because obviously Brendan posted about how
Brendan's the eldest, by the way.
there you go, about how hard she'd worked and wishing the best.
Jaden.
She'd stopped doing it, but yeah, she kept. It's quite a sad story, but she was obviously on a soccer scholarship at college, and sort of the start of every new year, she would post a photograph of herself in the kit and being really excited for the new season. And then about 2 months later, a photograph of her having a knee operation. And then 6 months later, really excited for the new season. And then a month later, knee operation. I think whatever's going on with that. not going to happen. But she can still do probably still play left back for us.
So just to close off the thought, it was Rusty and Janelle, Mom and Pop.
Pop was a soccer coach, wasn't he? Or still is he?
Yeah. And you've got...
and is Janelle also athletic? I'm sure she's like a...
I'll just have a look at the photos. Hey. And then we've got Brendan, who's the eldest, and then Paxton and Jaden.
Okay.
The kids.
So I wonder what Marsh would learn, what he would glean from this information.
Where are you in the birth order, Moscow?
Younger brother to an older sister.
Same.
So you're the youngest. And you're the
Exactly
youngest.
same, yeah.
I'm
older.
also the youngest, but I'm also the oldest, and everything in between.
Oh, only child. It explains an awful lot.
Yes.
You selfish fucking pig.
Well,
This is why you run around screaming for stuff all the time.
maybe this is how Marsh picks the team. Like, are we going to get some leadership from an only child?
We're going to have to do some extensive research now to find out what all the different birth orders of the squad are, see if we can notice any pattern.
Well, Joffrey's the old. We've already said Joffrey's the oldest one. He sent him off. Maybe the absence of a sister is like, no, not happy with this.
Yeah.
Not good enough. Who knows?
21s, by the way, lost to West Brom. Pathetic.
Bless him.
What's the point? They're supposed to be walking away with that league this year. No, it's because they had a lot of players in the first team squad, didn't they?
Darko JB scored a very good goal. And also the sending off. Chris Moore got sent off and gave away a penalty for possibly the mildest foul. It was almost of the lines of, like, in the olden days, you might have given it an indirect free kick for obstruction. But because it was through on goal and the player fell over, it was a penalty and a red card. So that felt a bit harsh. Darko JB stuck an equaliser in the top corner. We played really well after going 1-0 down. But then we decided, well, I don't know if it was a decision, but certainly the conclusion was in the last 20 seconds of the game, West Brom just ran through the middle and scored a goal. And that was a bit upsetting. 2-1 defeat.
Women haven't bothered playing for a bit, have they, because of the weather? Just
had in time to enjoy that cup win, getting ready for the game against Arsenal.
Yeah, best wishes to Rebecca Bass as well, who torn her ACL, MCL and meniscus, which is like the whole knee, basically.
Yeah, that sounds like it might have been...
The ligaments on both sides. And by pure chance, I was reading a book about a guy who's had a knee operation. So I know what the meniscus is.
Please, do tell.
You're the coach and the physio. You should know.
Yeah, but I'll explain it in medical terms. You're more likely to explain it in a simple way that a layman can understand.
It's the cartilage that acts as a shock absorber between the thigh and the shin.
Yeah, you're more or less right. Yeah, I mean,
what would you?
There's more to it. No, it's for a different.
How would you describe it? Come on.
My science.
And people like getting really granular in this stuff.
The connective,
the leg joiny bit,
the connective bits.
Yeah,
does all that. Yeah, it just holds it all together.
So when you're doing sort of an operation on that, what do you look out for?
Yeah, any loose bits.
Yeah,
the police probably.
I did Simon Cowell's facelift. That was a complete success.
He looks pleased.
At the end of that game at Stoke, on the highlights, you could see Rebecca Bass going across the pitch on crutches and congratulating all the other players, which then, when you look at the state of the list of injuries, I would have just been in the back of a car sobbing, wanting somebody to take me to hospital if my entire knee had just been smashed up. So, but
as well, bear in mind they have to have normal lives as well, being injured. It's not like being a professional footballer where you just go, well, I'm injured, I'll just go into the training ground and have someone work on my leg for a few hours every day. Got to go do a normal job and stuff.
Would you recommend that she go in the training ground with torn ACLs, MCLs and meniscuses in his eye?
Get on that running track.
Or would you say maybe
run it off?
Leave it to the surgeons for now?
Well, yeah, but I mean, footballers are weird, aren't they? Like Dallas broke his bloody femur and he was in the training ground doing stuff about 3 weeks later, wasn't it? It was, but good luck to her.
And we're through to the FA Cup fourth round, as we know, from beating Cardiff, which was a lot of fun in the end. We've got either Accrington or Boreham Wood.
No, it was a lot of good. It was a lot of fun at the start. The end, we lost. We conceded 2 goals and everything got a bit silly.
I mean, but now we've got a little bit of time behind us. We can look back and get it, because that was fun.
It was fun.
Forget the last 10 minutes, just a bit of an aberration. But we had to concede our customary 2 goals. But apart from that, it was good fun, wasn't it? Plenty of goals and all that. Would you prefer Accrington or Boreham Wood?
Accrington. It's not as far, is it?
True.
That's what I'm going to go with. Should still fly there, though. Just for the sake, just because it's the modern thing to do, isn't it?
Right.
Just fly there, Leeds to Manchester, and then what?
Is there not
45 minutes in the car from Manchester Airport?
Send the coach over the M62.
Is there not
Yeah,
an
it's perfect.
An empty coach.
an airport at Accrington?
I'm going to say not.
There'll be one. There'll be some kind of. There'll be an airstrip of some kind, won't there? Or maybe a rotor port, so we could take a Sea King helicopter.
We're Premier League, land it on the pitch.
I'm just having a look. I mean, there's plenty of big grassy areas around it. You could maybe just because, like up at Roundy Park, Soldiers Field, the big grass bit at the top. That used to be an airport runway during the war, wasn't it? It was used as an airfield, so they could do that. Just land it there.
All right, but yeah, I don't know.
Actually, Leeds Liverpool Canal skirts around the top end of Accrington. Slow boat.
Barge it.
Yep. Stick all the players on a barge.
How fast does a barge go? About 4 miles an hour?
Something like that. That might be a bit fast. That might be slower than that.
It's one of those trips that you'd want Alioski back for that kind of thing. Yeah.
What, barging?
Yeah. Well, Leeds United on a narrow boat going to Accrington with Alioski as the skipper.
He'd wear the hat, wouldn't he? Like the full
But anyway,
outfit.
it might not be Accrington. I don't know how you get to Boreham Wood.
Don't have any.
M1 is how you get there.
Let's have a look. Boreham Wood, does that have an airport? I looked on Boreham Wood's website just for like anything really the other day, and one article on there, I think it had 12 views, the most recent article, which I thought was lovely.
Ah, bless them. But yeah, they were meant to play.
Let's not patronise them because they're going to beat us in
That's
the FA
very
Cup.
true. They were meant to play before us, weren't they? But then the pitch was frozen, and now they're going to play next Tuesday, as long as
Unless
the
the
pitch
pitch is
isn't frozen.
frozen,
London Elstree Aerodrome. I'm all for an aerodrome. I love an aerodrome.
More for London Elstree, we can film a screwball comedy while we're there.
Yeah, it's directly west. Is the aerodrome is not far at all from actual Boreham Wood. It's
Like where all the Carry On films were filmed at Elstree.
at the
Studios.
aerodrome. I don't know.
Well, I bet well, is it possible that the aerodrome is a conversion of the studios?
I don't know. I mean, did the studios always have a runway there? That's the big question. Anyway,
How else would the big stars have got there for?
I'm
filming
looking
the
at Boreham
movies?
Wood. You're right, Michael. It's basic. Boreham Wood is at the almost the join of the M1 and the A1.
There's some big films done at Elstree.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the Dam Busters, Moby Dick,
There you go.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
And what's Dam Busters about? It's about aeroplanes dropping bombs and that. So what do you need? You need a runway.
A runway.
So there you go.
Yeah, Shining, Indiana Jones. Good.
I
And
want
Robot Wars.
I think we should play Boreham Wood because it's got better access.
There'll probably be better like TV coverage as well with Elstree available.
Accrington next Tuesday, 7 degrees, raining.
Boreham Wood versus
so we'll be
Leeds
fine.
United, directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Boreham Wood's ground. I was looking at it on Google Maps. It's very basic. I mean, very basic indeed.
Well, what level of football are they at?
Low,
So what do you want?
Conference, aren't they?
something like that. No, they're in like the Vanarama northern bit or something, are they?
I thought, I don't know.
We're doing deeply patronising stuff. I'll tell you what, we'll find out when
We'll
they
find
play
out
one
when-
another for next week.
If we're not playing him,
we
I'm
can't
not
research
bothered
two
learning.
teams, can we?
No.
Whereas Accrington, we know loads about them.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we don't, because the whole joke about Accrington is that nobody knows who they are, because who are they, etc. Who are they?
Exactly.
The film, it's that was Joffrey Gelhart's little brother in that.
It was, yes.
Well, I think that takes care of the Leeds United news for today anyway.
Comprehensive and detailed.
As always, thank you for joining us for this searing analysis. We have more to come, don't we? Brentford preview on the way.
Respectful, I imagine.
Yeah, as always. Humorous as well, because, it's all about banter, isn't it? And we'll pick a hero and villain of the week. We'll see you over on that.
The Square Ball Podcast.